not everybody's supposed to be the next Mother Teresa or Mahatma Gandhi or Martin Luther. Do great things. Like for us, we know Joseph Schooling, right? He's the Olympic champion. Everyone knows that. But who is the one that coached him to greatness?
Welcome to the WADT podcast. Today, our guest is Kevin Goh, Deputy Group Head of Engagement and Programs at the Center for Fathering. We will be discussing with him how one can find, follow, and fulfill one's purpose in life. We will be talking about how important having a life purpose is, what is passion, and what role it plays. Now, Kevin is also a father of 3. So let's welcome Kevin. Hi, Kevin.
Hi, Kevin.
Hello, everybody. Hi, Paksan. Hi, Hafiz. Thanks for having me.
Welcome to WADT. We are
Now,
glad to
because
have
you are a father, we always have a surprise question for fathers. Are you ready for it?
Yeah, man. I mean, surprised.
But this time, new question, Paksan? Not the same old. Same old.
Oh, what's the new question?
Oh, there's no. I thought there's a new question. If not, boring. Same question every time.
Same to you, but new to me, ma.
Oh, okay.
And the question is, what is fatherhood about? What do you think?
Oh, fatherhood. I think fatherhood, from my experience, is a on-the-job learning experience journey. For as long as you have children, for as long as you are alive, The moment you have children, you enter into fatherhood, and it's a OJT kind of thing. You learn along the way. You observe other fathers. You observe your own father, and then you try and error, set for better or for worse, on your own children. And then, we try our best to help them grow, mature, and develop to be contributing members of society, lah. Yeah. My
Kevin,
2 cents worth anyway.
Kevin, before you work in Center for Fathering, what were you doing?
Oh, okay. So before I came to Center for Fathering, I was actually working in my church. I was a pastor in my church for about 11 years.
Before that?
Before that, I was in civil service. I was working with young offenders as a probation officer.
Before that?
Before that, I was a student.
Okay lah. No, the way you answer the question, OJT, it reminds me of my manufacturing days.
I was engineering. I was an engineering student.
There I got it.
Engineering student, and then psychology, and then
interesting. You say on the job. It's something that we also believe that most fathers or dads we learn on the job. Yeah, and we have to adjust and be street smart. So I thought that's what I got from your answer.
Yeah, but we don't have to learn on the job anymore. We can attend workshops and we can read books like my book that I wrote called The Modern Day Dad. And that's
resources
the reason I wrote
that are available for us.
Yeah, you see. So
and this podcast also.
No need to trial and error anymore.
Thankfully, there's the wisdom out there for us to learn.
Yeah, to add into the material that is available for dads. I mean, there are many, but mainly it's foreign, overseas. Locally, I think it's not many, and I think I really applaud Paksan, for writing a book that I think is much relevant to our culture and the real things are happening here.
Okay, nice. Let's dive into our topic for today, which is on purpose of life. What are your thoughts about having a purpose in life? How important is it? What do you think, Hafiz?
Oh, I thought we should ask the guest first. Can I give the guest the right to answer first?
All right, Kevin, what do you think?
Kevin,
how important is purpose? I think purpose for definition of that word, I guess it gives us the sense of meaning to our lives, and it will help us to have greater clarity in terms of with our meaning in our life. Whatever we are doing, is it actually worthwhile? Is it actually worth doing? And so having a purpose in life will give us some drive, some direction, and overall meaning, I guess.
Hafiz, how about you? You've talked about purpose in life quite a bit. I know one of your favorite topics is this. So I'm sure you've got something to say about it.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely purpose or having a meaning in life is very, very important. Okay, at the end of the day, we have to have purpose here. Otherwise, without meaning, without purpose of life, our understanding and finding that meaning and purpose, we will be all over the place. And I think more importantly, we will not be able to find happiness. I think the real happiness is not about the material things to me. Of course, it does bring happiness. Like what people say, money is not everything, but you need money for everything.
Mm.
Still, all right. The true happiness that we can find in our hearts, okay, and in this life is to have something significant that we live for. The saying say we live to eat, right? Not eat to live. So that goes for many things. We most of the things that we do, is to stay alive and so on and so forth. But if it's just that staying alive alone, then we are nothing. To me, we are nothing more than just like other creations like animals. I believe we have been created for greater things. We are given a lot of capacity and faculty to achieve more. All right. And I think we can see that in many of the things that human beings are coming up with this today. But again, we need to find our own meaning and purpose in life, not to just copy, what other people's purpose in life is. We need to really search and find that meaning ourselves.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. But I think purpose in life can be also viewed quite differently. Like someone who says that my purpose in life is to be a millionaire by the time I am 40 or 50 years old. That is a purpose. But I think the question now is what kind of purpose in life will really bring you happiness. If you do achieve your goal of becoming a millionaire by 40 years old, I'm sure you'll be happy. But something else happens, and that is what psychologists call the hedonic adaptation. Yeah, right. Hedonic adaptation means when you experience a change in your life, whether it's positive or negative. That means, for example, you found a new job, right? And so you feel very good about it. You feel very happy. But that happiness only lasts for a while, and then you start to adapt to that new life. And then, you begin to wonder, or you begin to seek for another thing that will bring you another kind of dose of happiness. All right. And so that's what a lot of people in this world are experiencing. They're just going from one thing to another to bring them doses of happiness. But if you want to experience real happiness, and there's actually a word for it. Let me see if I can pronounce it. Eudaimonic. Eudaimonic. It's actually a word. Eudaimonic happiness. All right, which means it's a lasting happiness that is not transitory. Those what I just described is transitory. That means it comes and then it fades, and then you will be wanting to have another of such experience again, and so you aim for something else. Maybe I need a new phone. Maybe I need a more expensive watch. Maybe I need a new girlfriend. In order to make me happy, and then people are doing that. All right, so if you want true happiness, what you need to have is a life purpose, but not just any life purpose. All right, a life purpose that matters, to be productive, to be useful, and to make a difference in this world.
That's interesting. Thanks for sharing that, Parkson. I was just listening to a podcast this week, and the guest was actually, the speaker was actually saying success, right? The definition of success. So some people tag it like what you say, $1 million or the next million or things like that, or certain status of fame or certain properties that they acquire, whatever. But the way this guy was defining success, he says success to me is how many people I can help, how many people I can serve. The more people I can help and serve, the more successful I am. I was like, wow. He actually tagged his success based on how much he can help change or make this place a better place. Yeah. So very interesting. Yeah, this guy. This guy's name is Mark. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the pursuit of happiness is challenging itself. I think in our pursuit for happiness, we always we always try to achieve something which satisfy ourselves, right? But sometimes we meet the extreme of things. For example, as we mentioned just now about being a millionaire is very materialistic, right? I never realized that actually, it doesn't bring happiness. So we try to, and some people really throw away everything, all the material in this world, and they go to the extreme of being a hermit or being somebody that I don't need any material things. I just want to be happy, and yet certain part of his life is not her life is not still fulfilled because it means that you throw away what is actually a right for you to have, and you need those things. I think as a human being we have different faculties. I believe in SEMP. We need the spiritual food, we need the emotional stuff, and we need the mental as well as psychological stuff as well as the physical things. And if you throw everything material, you're throwing a very important part of what human beings are, what we are. So I think we need to always achieve that. Maybe the word balance is so used, as well as harmonize, but it's so difficult to achieve.
Yeah, I think balance is important. But still, balance is about yourself, right? And I think, yes, we need to have a balanced life in order that we can have something to offer to some other people. And I like what Ben Horowitz said in his commencement speech to the graduating class of Columbia University. And he gave this advice. He said, do not follow your passion. It's very, very radical, very unorthodox. And he warned the audience that it was going to be very unorthodox. And so he said, do not follow your passion. Because passion is, very subjective, right? So he gave the example of someone who is passionate about singing, yeah, right? And he joins, he signs up for American Idol, for example, but he can't sing. So if you have a passion for something, but if you don't have the ability, then please don't pursue it. So his final conclusion was, he was telling the students who was graduating, instead of following your passion, follow your contribution. And I thought, wow, that was profound. Follow your contribution.
So Paxton, that's what I like about Ikigai, because it addresses that dilemma that you just mentioned. Because you say that passion is subjective, right? You reach a certain stage in which passion cannot cannot pay you, cannot buy you food, it cannot give you a house. For example, if you're so passionate in helping poor people, all right, yeah, poor people don't pay you back with money because they are poor anyway. So again, and you're right to say that it must follow contribution. So it's not about don't follow your passion, but I think anything subjective like that has to be followed by something practical. And in Ikigai, the concept, I think some of you may have heard, it's a Japanese concept about meaning, about reason for being, itself. The other opposite, I think the whole Venn diagram that formulates the whole Ikigai concept, it has two extremes, or two opposites. So opposite of passion actually is vocation. You need something that can pay you. All right. So you have to balance again the word passion with, well, is it as mentioned? Do you have the ability for you to survive as a person? All right, in doing your passion. That means how is it relevant and how you can make it a vocation, something that pay you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what,
And
what you guys
People
are
like to
saying is,
say, go ahead, Kevin.
no, I think what you guys are saying is that it's not just all heart, but you need skills as well to go with the heart, basically. Yeah.
yeah, and they were
I
saying
think
about
to
there's so
sum it up
many
is,
there's so
the way I
many
would sum it up is be meaningfully engaged and economically employed.
yeah,
Okay.
and abilities, and I think we should be very clear that not everyone has the same ability. In fact, abilities are so varied. Some people there's 11 type abilities, from interpersonal, then you have natural, musical, blah and blah, so many. All right, but the truth is not everyone is good in everything. All right, maybe one person is good, he's a polymath, he's good in everything, he's a multi-talented person, but those are the very, very, very minority. But most of us, we are usually good at one thing, and we can be good at one thing. And when you are good at one thing, all right, that's where I go back to the Ikigai concept again. It talks about it becomes your profession, something that when you are good at and you can be paid for it, that means it's your vocation. It will lead to something in which you contribute, all right, to the world, because the world needs something which is you can do very well, and they are willing to pay for it. And in that Ikigai concept, there's the profession. The opposite is mission. So mission is about what you do every day, right? I mean, again, it's about purpose also. I mean, you can say that when you do something, your mission with something, you are really purposeful in doing something. So when you are mission in this thing you do every day and you really love it, that mix of passion and mission and the vocation and profession, that's the magic of Ikigai. I mean, it sounds very simple, but I tell you, not many people achieve it.
Yeah, interesting that you mentioned that, because like the guy I mentioned just now, that Mark Bastos, right? This guy, he's actually a hairstylist. He's a New York hairstylist. So he cuts hair for a living. Okay, so he actually started out cutting people's hair, and he got celebrities and everything, high paying people come and cut his hair. But he actually, on his off days, he goes to cut hair for homeless. And he find that gives him meaning in life. That gives him like the drive. So he was sharing, when he first started, he found very awkward to approach somebody, but then after he did it for quite some time, he just go up and just offer to cut people's hair, and they're more than willing to allow him to cut. And it changes their life when they homeless people get a haircut and they look different. So he saw the impact by just giving them a haircut. So while he's working, like you say, earning money, but he's also using that skill to actually provide meaning and for himself and also for others as well.
So it's like lawyers providing pro bono services, so they have a skill, they have the qualification, and on one side they are billing customers, clients, right, for the legal services they provide, and then on another side they are providing pro bono services, and so that in that sense is their charitable work, to help the poor, for example, and things like that. Yeah. So talking about that sweet spot between mission and passion, skills and profession and whatever, any of you found that sweet spot? Do you think you are in that sweet spot right now?
Yeah, I was about to ask the question though, like how many of us actually end up in that sweet spot, like you say, like that, what I do also gives me meaning and purpose. Can it be disconnected? Meaning I have a day job because I need to pay the bills, I need to for my family, but there's something on the side that I do, like I volunteer, for example, that I feel that gives me purpose and meaning, like so the work may not have meaning, but at least it pays the bills. But there are other things that I do on the side that that gives me meaning and helps to give meaning to others, lah.
Yeah, I'm into this line, right? I'm into non-profit work, and you guys are also, right? All of us are. I mean, three of us, and this is very great to see all of us doing this. Not many people want to do this because usually it doesn't pay very well, and the work is always, more than normal, and you have to deal with a lot of people and a lot of limitations. All right, but there's a study, I think a recent study, and there are many studies published, particularly in this journal, Happiness Studies, found that people who volunteer are happier than those who do not. All right. So, and not only does volunteering make us happier, it can improve our mental health over time. So, the benefits of doing good, helping people, that means don't just look at yourself, your interests. Purposely help other people to make people happy, giving people what we want for ourselves. All right. And nobody can say that they are not able to help other people. I think it is a matter of mindset, right? And I think you talk about sometimes, I go to my barber. I mean, he is, for the last 30 years I've been going to him, very very disciplined barber. He has only one shop, and whatever it is, he will always open his shop every day, and the first person to come before his other workers, and the last one to leave. He must be very passionate what he does. He must enjoy what he do. Otherwise, I think he won't be living and smiling and even talking to me, and he will always be in bad mood. But he's always in good mood.
Yeah. I think what I want to share my journey about how I believe I've come to at least narrow down to, what I feel is really my purpose in life. Okay. And it's kind of a culmination. I hope it is a culmination. I hope, I, I'm not saying this is the end of my life already, but there's still at least 20 or 30 years more to go, So I basically base it on three questions. And when people want to, when people ask me to help them find purpose in life, I also use these three questions. So the first question I use is, what makes you angry or what makes you cry? Okay. Uh, for me, a lot of things make me angry because I'm quite critical about things. I can pick on all kinds of mistakes and faults, and so a lot of things make me angry. So I'll just discard that. I'll focus on what makes me cry. So, for example, when you watch TV, I've noticed that if I'm watching a movie about somebody died, right, I don't cry. Not that I don't feel sad, but I don't feel sad enough for me even to tear. I noticed that there are a few things when I watch TV, for example, that really move me to the point that I tear or even cry. And the themes are, number one, reconciliation. When I see a scene where reconciliation is taking place, wow, I start to tear, I start to cry, non-stop. Secondly is redemption. Redemption meaning somebody is giving a second chance. Okay. Wow, I start to cry, Okay. So these are two very specific, very vivid themes when I watch movies. All right. These are the things that move me to the point of tearing. So I know these are very important to me. Okay. So that's clue number one. So question one. Question two, what are my abilities or skills or knowledge? So I look at my employment history, the things I've learned. All right. So I'm basically trained as an engineer, but then, I didn't spend many years, only 3 years in that line. Almost very quickly, I moved into, helping people. I was also a pastor, and then, now in the nonprofit sector, helping people, families, relationship in marriages and things like that. Okay. So what is the thread that goes through all these things in my life experiences? What I've come to see is relationship. Okay, relationship is what is common throughout all the things that I've been doing. Okay, and one of the things that I've also realized is one of the skills that I have besides teaching is coaching. Coaching in the sense that using teaching, using information to point people in the right direction so that it answers their questions and, where they can find for themselves answers to their questions. So that's question number two. And question number three is, what's your story? Okay. And I think the passion or even the compassion will come from your own life experience, you see. So you might be doing something very worthwhile, but if you maybe do not have your own personal experience, or life story, there might be a kind of a lack in compassion, okay, because you didn't experience it yourself. Okay, so for me, I experienced my parents going through a divorce, and things like that, and even in my own marriage, I struggled a lot. Okay, and as a parent also, I began to realize how little I knew when I first started. Okay, and so when I put all these things together, I think I begin to see a picture of what I'm supposed to do going forward, and how I can use all my experiences, all my the setbacks that I've experienced, even the good and the bad, all right, and all the knowledge and skills that I've accumulated, and going forward, how do I make use of all this to help other people? You see, so those are the three questions I found useful to help me, to at least point me in the general direction that I should be going in. I don't know about you. What helped you?
Pastor, you must write another book already. The title is Cry Redemption And what's the last one? Story.
Uh,
Cry redemption story.
yeah, or just make what makes you cry. And then people will say, oh.
So that's the first question. What makes you cry or angry? Right? That's the first question. Second question, what's the second question?
What are your skills? What are you good
What are
at?
your skills? Yeah. And then what's your story? Yeah.
Okay. So what about what's your story, Kevin?
Yeah, so actually, I was thinking about it also, just thinking about this today's podcast. Um, I guess I mean I'm 42 this year, and I only really guess started to really look at about purpose in life and everything when I was hitting 40. You know, at that age where I feel like it's a milestone. You know, like 40 already. You know, like what have I done? Like look back, what have I done, and then look forward. Like okay, what's going ahead? You know, and I felt I want to make my life count. I want to make it meaningful lah, you know. That's why. So I realized the past 40 years I've been drifting, you know. Like that's why I was like, oh no, I want to make sure I'm sailing. I don't want to just drift through life every day, every year, just pay the bills and that's it kind of thing. Yeah, there should be more than that lah, you know. So was thinking like purpose in life. Is there actually one purpose in life or not? So I think I'm still discovering that. Yeah. But I'm thankful for the opportunity to come to Center for Fathering to work now because I think it's aligning a little bit the sweet spot lah. I guess, you know, I got 3 kids, so I am a young father, so to speak. My kids are at 8, 10, and 12. Yeah, so I'm still a learning father, still OJT, right? Like I said. But I feel for the fathers, and I want to do something, whatever I can, like, you know, be it with my life or the way I parent my kids, or just share my 2 cents worth, my failures and all. So to help other fathers be better dads, you know, help other dads be better lah, right? Not to share my life with them. Yeah, but I think anybody looking for purpose, I think you just go and try lah. Just go and try something and then see whether it generates excitement or it moves you. So for Pakistan, the question is what makes you cry or makes you angry. For me, is what moves me, right? What moves me. So maybe not towards crying, but it compels me to do something. So just like Pakistan as well, when I read the news, again, not say I'm heartless, but I read the news on maybe the how our migrant workers are being treated or mistreated. Okay, you know, I read about the in the news, let's go and plant 1 million trees in the nation kind of thing. So some people are very, very, very excited about it, or they very nature want to go. But me, okay. But when I hear someone struggling with the decision, I want to divorce, or I want to abort the baby, not divorce, want to abort baby, wow, something in me stir. No, I cannot, no, I cannot take it sitting down. I have to do something. Yeah, so I realized, hey, something in that this topic is stirring my heart. So that's a clue for me lah, that maybe I want to explore a little bit more. So I am in touch with people who are helping people who are thinking through or even have gone through abortion, just to help see I can help create a bit more awareness in the area lah. So things like that. So it's really just seeing what stirs you, and then there's a little hint and clue that you can go and try lah, basically. No harm trying lah, you know, to figure out along the way.
Have you all heard about Jack Ma's advice to young people, to youth?
Want to help
No.
us recall?
Yeah, so I think some of you have heard already. So he said that when you are 20, 30 years old, you should follow a good boss and join a good company and learn how to do things properly. And when you're 30 to 40, if you want to do something yourself, just do it. You can still afford to lose, to fail. But when you're 40 to 50, his suggestion is to do things you are good at. All right. And when you're 50 to 60, spend time training and developing young people.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're over 60, you better stay with your grandchildren. So that's what he said. So I'm reflecting my own life. I mean, of course, it's just advice. It's not a quick and fast rule. But I think there's some truth in it coming from him, right? So unless you have you have something to give, okay, and not only take, right? And I think not only that, if you are not able to know what you're good in and be really, really good at something, then you cannot make a difference. Because I think having a purpose in life, either it's not, I mean, no need to be a really big thing, but anything, having a meaning, having a purpose in life is to be good at something and be able to give something that you are good at. And I believe that every one of us are unique. All right, there's no two person are the same, and you don't have to be be good in the same thing as other people. And I also believe that uniqueness means that you have something to contribute to the world, to other people. You know, the other people cannot do it. because that's the beauty of being human, right? All of us are really really different from the from the smallest thing, to even our facial, very difficult to see people look the same, right? Or even twins, they look different after some time. So for me, it's more of after going through a lot of challenges, be it in the career, in my family life, and the relationship. I believe that change is an important word, and to manage change, especially personal change, is a great challenge. All right, so that so-called being able to manage change and overcome a lot of things is one of the biggest challenges as a human being. So for me, that's why I focus in this, being able to first help myself to change and help other people. And I think like Pakson, I like to coach others. That means empower others, because I believe that other people can change, can do things themselves, instead of you always telling them how to do it, and always breathing down their neck, because that will not help them at all. Yeah.
Yeah. I think as a closing thought, I just want to share something that came to me when our former Prime Minister Lee Kuan Yew passed away. They were showing all the things he has accomplished on TV. So I was watching it. Although I knew already many of the things, but it was a good refresher, good reminder of, all right, and perspective of all that he has accomplished. And the thought that came to my mind was, wow, this guy, I wish he could just still be alive for another minute just to see his life's work. Okay. And the question I asked myself, and today I ask many people, as many people as I can, when you are reaching your twilight years and as you look back on your own life, what would you see? Will you see a life of work or your life's work? You know what I mean? Will you see your life of work? That means you're just going from one job to another, hoping to get a better job, a better pay, a better position, so that you have a better life. Or will you see your life's work? And I think that thought has motivated me and has kept me, in that sense, on track. As much as I'm hoping to earn more, all right. I'm always reminded, is that, what will I have to give up? What will I have to compromise, just to get paid a bit more? I mean, if anybody wants to pay me a bit more, I'll take it. All right. But I want to still be able to do what I'm doing right now. And yeah, so I hope that also stirs you and motivates you, and will kind of be a reminder for you, so that
Yeah.
we evaluate our lives today rather than wait to the end.
Yeah, thanks for that perspective and for that closing thought to remind us, that life is not just about work right? It is about making life meaningful, maybe even through our work. And I guess it's also comforting. I agree with Hafiz, that I mean, not everybody is purpose in life is to do something great. Not great. Not everybody is supposed to be the next Mother Teresa or Mahatma Gandhi or Martin Luther. To do great things. Like for us, we know Joseph Schooling, right? He's the Olympic champion. Everyone knows that. But who is the one that coached him to greatness? Right, his coach Sergio Lopez, for example, right? So our purpose in life may be the coach. We may not be the great person that everyone remembers. We're actually the person that actually guide this great person there, and that's our purpose, right? We don't have to be the one taking the limelight, so to speak. But if we do what we are supposed to do well, as we discover that along the way, then that will be our purpose, Yeah. So maybe be courageous, I guess, be brave to go and find it out along the way, Yeah.
All right, so that's very nice way to close this session, and I think I learned a lot. And also I have to listen again to this podcast to capture the gems from both of you. All right, so thank you Kevin for coming.
Thank you
Hope to see you again.
Thank you, Pakson.
Pakson. Bye. This is the WADT podcast, and thank you for listening. If you have enjoyed today's episode, be sure to like, follow, or subscribe so that you will not miss any episodes. Share the link to this episode with someone you think that will benefit from it. We want to know what you think of this episode too. Please feel free to share your comments on one of our social media platforms. We are on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. You can also email wearedebts2@gmail.com if you have a question or need help. Till next time, this is Hafiz and Paksan signing off.